That ended suddenly, didn't it? I was just trying to sort out Rumble. We're having problems. But anyway, hey up, it's Steve from Old Yorkshire Geek. Welcome to episode 115 of Magnificent Mondays. And in keeping with the festive season, we're doing White Christmas from 1954. I won't be singing, or maybe a bit. I don't know. We'll see, won't we? I don't think Rumble's working. We're live on YouTube, but we're not live on Rumble. We're having some problems. I don't know why. Maybe it's fixed itself. I don't know. StreamYard says it's having trouble streaming to Rumble. So we'll see if it comes on. But we're on Twitch as well. Don't know why I keep doing Twitch. But anywho. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I was watching It. Welcome to Derry. I do apologise. But anyway, Justin's here and he says this is probably his favourite Christmas movie. And he goes on to say a lot of people don't consider it a fully Christmas though. A fully Christmas movie. I don't know why, because it's got Christmas in the title. But anyway, I totally disagree with them. So do I. My second favourite is It's a Wonderful Life. Third, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Fourth, Die Hard. Yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Fifth is a tie. Planes, Trains and Automobiles and Home Alone. Cool. I don't think, apart from Die Hard, I don't think any of them would be in my top five. But anyway. Muppet Christmas Carol is my favourite Christmas film of all time. But anyway, never mind. And I'm not going to tell you others. But anyway, before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. As I said, we're live on YouTube. I'm not sure if we're live on Rumble. I will refresh it again and see if it comes on. See what happens. I don't think we're live on Rumble, but we're live on Twitch. Windgrace is here saying, "Oh, you do PTA for Christmas. What the hell's PTA? I have no idea what that is." But anyhow. And Justin says, yeah, because it's a holiday movie. It captures the spirit of the holiday season. Yes, it does. I gotcha. I feel like that's, says Windgrace, that's the good official start to the season via Thanksgiving before moving into Christmas. Planes, Trains and Automobiles, he says, yes. Planes, Trains and Automobiles. Oh, right, okay. I thought like, I'm trying to think like Physical Teaching Association or something. I don't know what you're on about. Or something announcement. Public tannoy announcement. I don't know. I was thinking that. Anywho. Right, so, anyway, where were we? Explore the description for links for stuff like merch. And my books, which are under there, under my Christmas cards again, which are under there. Amazon Kindle and paperback, give them a whirl. What else? Links for my websites and me other stuff, me channels, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Become a member, like Windgrace and Justin and Michael and Adam Gamer and there's another one. There's the four. No, there's just them four. Them four, and whoever I hand out memberships to. But anywho. Justin says, Steve, we have similar tastes yet disagree often. That is true. We have similar tastes, but not for the same things, if that makes sense. Anyway, what else? And that's about it, isn't it? Yeah, so we'll get on with the film. We're not going to watch the film, obviously. We're going to go through it in a series of stills. May play the odd snippet. I'll play the odd snippet for a song, which means I'll definitely get a copyright claim, but never mind. But as I said, yes, we're doing White Christmas. There it is. There's my DVD. I've not got it on Blu-ray. I've got it on DVD, which is very nice. There's a commentary on from Rosemary Clooney, which is, it's fine. Doesn't really shed much light on it, but it's fine. And a little interview with her as well. But anywho. Right, so we'll get some info about the film before we start. White Christmas from 1954. This is the third film to have the song White Christmas in it after Holiday Inn and another one. I've got notes, but I made a note and I forgot it. Blue Skies, of course, Blue Skies. It's Irving Berlin. Directed by Michael Curtiz, who did loads of films, including Casablanca. Stars Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Rosemary Clooney, Vera Ellen and Dean Jagger. Had a budget of $2 million, made $30 million at the box office. Huge success. It's one of those classic films. And it's It is a great flick. It is a great flick. I really like it, and it sets me off every time towards the end because I'm a big softie. I was nearly crying today actually. Watching, as I said, I was watching It. Welcome to Derry, episode 7. It nearly set me off. It did. I tell you, I'm a big softie today. My voice might be a bit croaky today because I've not had the best day. I was doing a lot of shouting earlier on. Not at anybody, just at inanimate objects and the universe in general. It's been a day. Freezer problems and the drawers breaking and me banging my head. I've got a right cut on my head there. Oh, what a day I've had. But anyway, right, so White Christmas. Let's get on with it, shall we? Let's get on with it. Windgrace, I'm surprised I didn't see you streaming yesterday to gush over the wonderful Academy sneak peek. I thought about doing a video about it, and I thought, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. I don't care about Star Trek Starfleet Academy. And Justin says, Scrooged and Polar Express are in my top 10. Yeah, I'm one of these people that's not a huge... I like Scrooged, but I don't put it high on my list of favourites. You know, I like watching it, but it's not one of my favourites, if you know what I mean. And same with Polar Express. That's kind... I like it until they get to the North Pole, and then I kind of don't like it after that. But anyway, right, so we'll get on with this, shall we? So pop myself down in the corner. Do you like me snow? I've got a snow thing going on. So I'll put myself down in the corner and we shall begin. Hey, there we go. Down I go in the corner. There it is. Look, I'm all snowy, look, because it's Christmas. Right, we'll get on with it, shall we? There we go. We shall begin. There we go. Paramount proudly presents the first picture in VistaVision. I don't know the technicalities of it. It's another widescreen format. Along with Panavision and all them. But Paramount's version was VistaVision. Apparently, it was better than the others for quality or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. And it didn't warp the image or whatever the phrase is. I don't know. But anyway, distort. It didn't distort the image like some of them did. But anyway. Windgrace says, what's the most recent or modern Christmas movie we all enjoy? I like Krampus. I watched it the other day. That's from, I don't know, 2017, something like that. We're doing Violent Night in a couple of weeks, or whenever it is, I think it's for Magnificent Mondays. So I've got the Blu-ray here somewhere. You can't see for that. Hang on. I like Violent Night, which that's only from like a couple of years ago, starring David Harbour. That's fun. So that might be the latest one that I really like. And Josh Temple's here with his harpoon at the ready to harpoon Bing Crosby through his stupid face. I'm not a fan of Bing Crosby. He does me head in. I like his singing. But anyway. He loves this movie. Oh, so he won't be harpooning Bing Crosby through his stupid face. But anyway. Right, so we begin VistaVision, and we're off. Oh, I pressed a button. Don't know what I've done. Paramount Picture, and it comes on Irving Berlin's White Christmas, 1954. There we go. We all know the song, don't we? Very quiet, though. I've got it on 100%. It's not actually playing White Christmas, it's playing Count Your Blessings, but never mind. Dean Jagger. I don't know what else he's been in. I know we're in The Robe. It's another film I really like. I can't think of anything else that he's been in. Anyway, never mind. Right, blah, blah, blah. Credits, song, lyrics and music. Oh, where is it? There we go. By Irving Berlin. Got to have this for Windgrace. Irving Berlin. Got to have that for Windgrace. Spirited with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. Is that actually? I don't know. I've not seen that one. Is that a new one? I've not seen that one. Anywho, credits. Michael Curtiz. And there we go. So we begin in Europe. I presume it's France in World War II. After D-Day. This is actually a painting of a town in Vermont. Weirdly enough, but they're not actually there. The town of I've got it in my notes. Got it in my notes if I can find it. Where have I put it? I went through the IMDb trivia and just picked out a few notes of interest. Here we go. In the opening scene, there we go. The canvas backdrop behind Bing Crosby singing White Christmas, which he'll get to in a minute, is of the Vermont town East Corinth. So there we go. So if you go to East Corinth, it looks just like that, apparently. Winggrace hasn't seen Spirited, neither have I. And Winggrace says, I would maybe guess the first Kurt Russell Santa movie. That were alright. I forgot what it was called. Christmas Chronicles. That's it, isn't it? And there was a second one, wasn't there? I can't remember if I watched that one. Ghost of Girlfriends Past. Love it. I've never even heard of that one. Anyway, so they're here singing, look, because it's Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. I can't remember what they're singing. Let's have a listen. I don't know, I can't hear it. I don't know why it's so quiet, but anyway, never mind. And we see he's got braids on in his Santa outfit to show that he's a captain. Because, of course, he couldn't have Bing Crosby being a private. Although he's later on in the film, Dean Jagger, as the general, says to him, you were no good as privates. But he were a captain, but never mind. But Danny Kaye's a private. A PFC. Anyway, they're doing a bit of entertaining the troops. There they are. It's all filmed in the studio, by the way. I don't know if there is any actual, apart from establishing shots or backgrounds or whatever. I don't think there's actually any on-location shooting in this. Technically, there's a train station scene, which is kind of on location on the is it the no, not the Fox backlot. But anyway, we'll get to that. But this is obviously in the studio. There are all explosions going off in the background. Justin says, thought it was the Battle of the Bulge. It's very Band of Brothers, isn't it? Right, so here we go. Apparently their unit, I don't know what unit it is, but that's Dean Jagger as their general, General Waverley. Is handing over command to another general who's called something else. I can't remember his name. Let's have a look. Cast, where's the cast? See if it tells us. General. Is it going to tell us? It's not going to tell us, is it? Now, I have to look on IMDb. General What's His Face. Where is he? I mean, surely he's not that low down on the credits. Is he uncredited? Where the hell is he? I just want to know his name because I've forgotten. General, there we go. General Carlton. General Harold G. Carlton, uncredited. They're handing over command to him because General Waverley's been sent, I don't know, doing their desk job or whatever. I don't know. He's been promoted or promoted sideways. I don't know, but they're pulling him out for some reason, and his men love him, but they're giving him a new general for some reason. Don't know. Right, so anyway, so that's what they're saying. And saying, what's that music? Oh, just entertaining the troops. Well, this is no time for that, but the men are moving in, because it's Christmas Eve. They're moving in tomorrow. So anyway, so he sends the general off to headquarters, says, take the shortcut, which is the long way round. And so he says, yes, I know that, but the general doesn't. Right, so and he comes in, and he sits in, they don't notice he's there. And then Bing Crosby comes on and says, it's a pity the general isn't there, isn't here, so I'll just sing my song anyway. So he's singing White Christmas, there we go. And they're all being all sombre because, you know, they could die tomorrow because it's the war. So he sings that. We'll have a little listen, even though it's really quiet, I don't know why.
May your days be merry and bright.
There we go. So off he goes singing that, and so he says that. So very good. We're moving up tomorrow. It's not a very good Christmas present, and I wish the general was here. And then suddenly he says, "Tension!" And so he's saying, you know, we're going and all that, blah blah blah. General Carlton, you know, he'll whip you into shape, but he kind of does get a little bit emotional because because he's got to leave his men behind. It's like he's going to say, he starts to say he'll miss them, but then he stops himself and then he says, they'll whip you into shape and all that. But anyway, then he wishes a Merry Christmas and off he goes, and then suddenly all explosions happen, but they've got to sing a song first, and all that stuff. Here we go. All the men are singing. But then all bombs start falling, and then they start singing quietly for some reason. I don't know why, but so he's shaking hands with his men as he leaves, because they all love him. So off he goes. And then we get some explosions and stuff. And then this wall starts to fall down, and this is where Danny Kaye, I forgot the names of the characters, Bob and somebody or other. I've never even paid any attention to that. I just call them Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. Bob Wallace is Bing Crosby. Danny Kaye is Phil Davis. This wall falls down, and Danny Kaye saves him. Pulls him out of the way, and gets his arm injured. And he uses it all the way through the film to get Bing Crosby Bob to do things for him. Keeps going, I did save your life. Kind of wears a bit thin after a while. But anyway, apparently before the war, Bob Wallace was a famous singer or a popular singer. And after the war, he's going to carry on doing that. And I forgot his name again. Phil says, I've written a song. You should do it together after the war. He says, I sing by myself. Blah, blah, blah. Because it's Bing. And he says, but I did save your life. And goes, okay, we'll give it a go. And then we cut to after the war. There we go. VE Day. Did they go off to Japan and fight over there? Obviously not. But we see that they've got an act. It's the Wallace and Davies show. There we go. They're all singing. Just me to miss a bit. Go back again. The temperature's rising, it isn't surprising. There we go. All that sort of stuff. There we go. The Wallace and Davies show. They're on TV and they're on radio and all that stuff. And they're going to be producers as well. Davies, there he was showing his arm. He's talking Bob into stuff. They're going to start producing other acts as well. And I presume they've become really wealthy. But anyway, now they're in Florida at a club called The Florida. There they are. I presume it's Pensacola. I don't know. It just reminds me of Contact, that film Contact, where she draws Pensacola with a tree like that. And the aliens recreate it at the centre of the galaxy. That's by the by. That's another story. So here they are. Singing Blue Skies with a jazzed up version. But we know somebody who doesn't like blue skies, don't we, Win Grace? Anywho. So they're singing that. And then they go backstage and they've got the train tickets because after it's nearly Christmas again. And they're going up to New York and they're giving their cast, they've got a big show or something up there, up in New York, and they're giving them all Christmas off and full pay and all that stuff. And that fella there, I think he's called Al, I'm not sure, but he's sorting out their train tickets. Excuse me. Probably because it reminds him of Alexander. I don't think so. But anyway. Phil is always trying to palm off, trying to do double dates with Bob, so he's got a couple of dancers there. She's always saying, mutual, I'm sure, when they introduce themselves to her. I forgot her name. Never mind. We see her again later on. She kind of reminds me a bit of, I forgot the name of the character, off Singing in the Rain. Lena Lamar. Is that right? Something like that. She kind of reminds me of her. Anywho, but he fobs them off, says, no, we're going to New York. And so they're talking about, he's saying, you're going to be a grumpy old man and you should get married and have 9 kids and all that stuff while they're getting changed and ready to catch a train. Anyway. Oh, and he says, we've got we can't go just yet. We've got to go and check out another act because they've had a letter from an old army buddy whose name I've forgotten. And he's got two sisters who are singers, and he's got, as a favour to an old army buddy, to go and check them out. So that's where they're going to go and have a look at those. So this is where we're going to meet Rosemary Clooney and Vera Ellen, who doesn't have a hyphen in the name for this film, but does for everything else, apparently. They're at Novello's. Look, is it Ivan Novello's? I don't know. But here they are, coming in matching jackets, but not kecks. Anyway, so off they go. So there's Vera Ellen, who plays the younger sister of these two. Judy, innit? And Rosemary Clooney, who plays the elder sister, Betty. But actually, in real life, Vera Ellen is 7 years older than Rosemary Clooney, so they've switched ages. But Rosemary Clooney actually does look older than her, doesn't she? I must admit. But anyway. There are a lot of talk about this film, actually, with Vera Ellen in particular, saying that she was anorexic and that she, it's all her collars, or most of her collars in this are quite high collars compared to what Rosemary Clooney has. And they're saying it was to hide, I don't know, wrinkles or lines caused by anorexia. But apparently that was debunked, and apparently that's not true. So, but I don't know why she has high collars. Maybe she just likes that style. I don't know. But she's very, very thin. But she's an amazing dancer. But apparently she can't sing very well, so she was dubbed by Trudy Stevens, whoever that is. But anyway, so they're there, and this is where we learn that the letter to Bob from the army buddy, their brother, actually wasn't from his brother. It was Judy that wrote it because the brother has gone off to Alaska or something. So that's what they're talking about here. They're getting ready to do their show. So there we go. So here we go, they're getting ready, they're coming out, and they're singing Sisters. They're having dinner. Bing Crosby's having dinner. Danny Kaye's not having anything, he mustn't be hungry. But anyway, here they are, singing Sisters.
Sisters, there were never such devoted sisters.
There we go. Always reminds me of my Auntie Betty. My Auntie Betty always sang that. If my Auntie Betty and my mum and my other aunties ever got together, my Auntie Betty would all start singing Sisters. She would. Bless her. No longer with us, I'm afraid. But anyway. Sorely missed. But anyway, they're doing their little act. Sisters. Very good. Apparently, Rosemary Clooney's a great singer. She is a great singer, but apparently she wasn't a great dancer. But Vera Ellen's an amazing dancer, and Rosemary Clooney said, she kept her, on her toes, so to speak. Made sure she did it right and all that stuff. She's an amazing dancer to watch. Is Vera Ellen? Watch her feet. I can't take my eyes off her feet. But anyway, I'm getting all Quentin Tarantino. But anyway. So they're singing that. There they go. And we can see that Bob is smitten with Betty. By the way, Rosemary Clooney's actual real sister in real life is called Betty, and they used to have a double act singing. But apparently Betty wanted to settle down and have a family and stuff, and Rosemary Clooney went off to New York to follow her dreams. But anyway, Bob Up's smitten with Betty, and kind of Phil is, it's weird, kind of smitten with Judy, but they've kind of more become friends. There's a connection between them, and then the chemistry, but they're never really a couple, and I don't know if they are at the end. I'm not sure, but anyway. But there they are looking at them, thinking, quaw, and all that stuff. Quick costume change, and apparently Rosemary Clooney loved this dress. Designed by Edith Head, Oscar-winning, designer. I used to love in old films where instead of like costume design, it just used to say gowns by whoever. But anyway, so here we are. They're getting to know each other and asking for advice. There we go to see their brother, who's, I can't remember whose name it is, but apparently that's Alfalfa from, I forgot the name of the show. I've never seen it. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. I've got it here in my notes. Here we go. The photo that Vera Ellen shows to Bing Crosby, Danny Cray, of her brother Benny is actually a photo of Carl Alfalfa Switzer, known for his role as Alfalfa in Our Gang. There we go. Wingrace says, Little Rascal. Maybe. I don't know. It says Our Gang there. I have no idea. Always remember, only reason I know of Alfalfa is from The Simpsons, when Moe said that they killed the real Alfalfa or something. I don't know. But I'm just going to check, see if Rumble's come on. No, it hasn't. So I don't think we're going to Rumble tonight. I don't know why not. So I might as well get rid of that, haven't I? Might as well just get rid of that. And we'll cancel Rumble. We shall remove it. There we go. Bye, Rumble. It's all right. Right. So we'll leave it there. No Rumble tonight. Just Twitch and YouTube. Where were we? Anyway, so Phil takes Judy off for a dance, and let them get to know each other. And she owns up. She says it was Judy that wrote the letter, and so he says, "Oh, fair enough. It doesn't matter, you know. Everybody's got an angle." My 2 minutes rumble enough for all of us anyway. Okay. Is that a quote? I don't know. Or is it just genuinely rumbling a lot? Go get something to eat then. That's where we learn that they're going up to Vermont. Judy and Betty are going up to Vermont because they've been booked for the holiday season at a hotel, whatever. A holiday inn, I suppose you could say. And they're going to go and dance now. Just randomly, because it's a musical, so they've got to go and dance. Watch her feet. Look, her feet are amazing. I don't know why. I'm obsessed with Vera Ellen's feet. Oh dear. Winger says, "No, I'm hungry. Almost off, and dinner time in an hour or so." Okie dokie. Right, fair enough. So they're having a little. We'll have a listen. Oh, I've muted it again, haven't I? Bloody hell.
Really on the floor.
It's all very romantic, because it's about romance.
Soon becomes romancing.
There we go. Can't play too much. I'll get a blooming. I've probably got one already. Let's have a look. See if it says anything. No, we've got away with it so far. So anyway, so they're dancing away. Watch her feet. Look, it's amazing. I don't know. I'm obsessed with her feet. So here we go, dancing away. Over this little bridge that for some reason has a what they call it, a death slide, whatever they call them, that they use later on. That's how they do a bit of going around the poles and stuff, and then up on this upturned canoe. Watch your feet. Look, her feet are amazing. I don't know. I'm obsessed with Vera Ellen's feet. Look, they're going. I mean, Danny Kaye's feet might be amazing as well, but I'm just looking at Vera Ellen's. I mean, she's in heels as well. Anyway, right. Is this where they do the death slide? Here they go. Whee! Why is that there? I have no idea, but whatever. It's fun. So they do a little dance, and they've got the finish now. And says, "Go on, we've got to go. We've got to get ready for our next show," she says, does Betty. But then we learn that the sheriff's arrived, and he wants to arrest them because they were rented a room from this guy, and that he's claimed that they've burnt his rug, and they want $200 off them, which they haven't got, because it was a lot of money back then. But Danny says, not Danny, Phil says, "We'll take care of it." So anyway, so they've got to take care of it. So he ushers Bob off and says, "We've got to help the girls." So they're getting them to, they're running away. He gives them their tickets, by the way, their tickets to New York, but they go to Vermont, but never mind. Gives them their tickets. They had tickets for the train to go to Vermont, but they can't use them until tomorrow. So he gives them their tickets for tonight. Anyway, so he tells this is the fellow that runs the club, the manager, whatever, and tells him, distract the sheriff just until the girls get away. Anyway, so it says, tell them the girls are coming on to do you won't let them go until they've finished their act. So he tells them that. That's the sheriff. He's feeding him and drinking, and that's the chap that wants the $200. And anyway, the music plays, and then we have an impromptu set from Bob and Phil, where they do sisters. And apparently Bing Crosby really didn't want to do this, because it's kind of drag-ish, but not really. But they're just miming to... we see a fella actually start playing a record. We see the band plays up, but then this fella starts a record player. So is this just the words only? I don't know. So have they made a record? They must have done. But so they can mime along to
There were never such devoted sisters.
But apparently Bing Crosby didn't want to do this, and kept fluffing it so that they wouldn't use it. He kept bursting out laughing, corpsing and all that stuff. And Danny Kaye kept making him laugh as well. But Michael Curtiz loved it, so they kept it in. They could see the good old suspenders or garters, whatever you call it. I don't know what you call them. You don't see them on socks these days, do you? But anyway. Haven't they heard of elastic? Surely elastic had been invented by then. Anyway, so they're doing all this. It's all fun and games. And he ends up, he does bursting out laughing. That was genuine from Bing. But carried on. Didn't call cut. But anyway. So they've distracted them enough and they run off, jump in a taxi to the train station. They get on the train just in time. Obviously, he's not got the tickets. So they're going to have to pay for tickets to New York, which would be $97 and I forgot, 97 and 40 cents or something like that. Now that's 2 fares to New York, $97.24, which apparently now would be over $1,000. I think. I don't know. I've got it in my notes somewhere. I think it's in my notes. Here we go. The cost of the train tickets and a Broadway ticket, which is mentioned later, adjusted to current prices, 2025, train tickets at $97.24 would cost $1,169.24. I won't mention the Broadway ticket. Coincidentally, train travel in 2025 is much less than that. So it wouldn't cost you $1,200 to get from wherever they are, Florida, to New York. But anyway. So anyway, he pays it. And that's for 2 tickets, I think, as well. And yet he just pays it, so there we go. But obviously they booked a cabin for him, a sleeper car, whatever you want to call it. It's this one here, room A. There we go, that one. Because they accidentally opened the door, and we see that they're there, look. Doesn't look very luxurious in there, does it? And later on in the film, we see that their beds are outside, on the gangway of the train. But anyway, we'll get to that. They've got to go and sit in there in this area, whatever this is called, the bar. Anyway, so he's obviously fed up. Is Bob, and it works out that it was Phil's doing. And then he says, if I go back there and those Haynes sisters are there, I'll give them a piece of my mind. And then they come in saying, oh, thank you for giving us your tickets. Phil said it was your idea and all that. And he goes, oh, okay then. Do you want a sandwich and a drink? So they have a sandwich and a drink, and decide that they're all going to Vermont now because of all the snow. It'll be lovely up there. By the way, this menu moves by itself, I think. So it just says there, menu, and then suddenly it's upright in a minute because we're off to Vermont. There we go. Does he move it? I want to see if he moves it. Can we see him moving it? No, hang on, let's go back. See? No, I don't think we see him move it, do we? It just magically upends itself, or he moved it off screen. But anyway, so they sing a little song called Snow.
Snow, snow,
Snow, snow.
There we go. Which apparently Irving Berlin first wrote the song, called it Free. I don't know, but anyway. So they sing that a little bit. And is there snowballs? I don't know. So they're all singing away because it's a musical, so they've got to sing. Oh, right, and then they show a little display for no reason. Anyway, so there we go. They're going to go to Vermont where the snow is. Here they are leaving. It's supposed to be Florida. You see a couple of trains. Apparently, if you go from Florida to Vermont, you'd have to change trains in New York, apparently. So the train actually changes. We see it's a red train there. And then when they get to, presumably Vermont, I don't know, are they Vermonty Mountains? I don't know. We see it's a different train. So they must have changed in New York. Apparently these are West Coast trains, apparently. So there you go. So even though it's all set on the East Coast, they didn't go anywhere near it, even for the establishing shots. Right, so here we go, Pine Tree, coming into Pine Tree. So it's going down the kind of the gangway here, and then suddenly, there you go, they come out, they've slept there, in the gangway. Nowhere near cabin A. I'm confused, I don't understand. So here they're coming, look, all happy. He's got his thermals on, he's ready for all this snow. We see there we go, I think they call it drawing room A or something like that. But they haven't slept in there. I don't get it, but anyway. Right, so he goes and looks out. It says, oh, look, it's all green out there. There's no snow. So anyway, so they arrive at I think it's the Fox backlot. Yes, 20th Century Fox backlot for the train station, because they had a working train station sort of thing at Fox. So that's where they filmed that. But you see, even though there's no snow, there's still loads of chaps walking about with skis. Well, we see two. So they don't understand why there's no snow, because remember, it's nearly Christmas. But it says, ask Cisco here, this fella here, and apparently, this is like breaking the fourth wall. Here we go. Bob approaches the station master at the Pine Tree train station and says, let's ask Cisco here. Bing Crosby would have recognised the actor playing the station master from his recurring appearances on the Cisco Kid TV show. So there we go. So it's kind of breaking the fourth wall, I suppose. Not Benjamin Sisko from Deep Space Nine. Just thought I'd shoehorn that Star Trek reference in. Anyway, it says we haven't had snow since Thanksgiving, which is only like a month earlier. Less than that, isn't it? But anyway. Right, so, but they've got a car there waiting for them from the Columbia Inn. We see it's got a ski lodge, all in the studio. As I said, not much location work in this film. But I love a good studio set with trees and stuff. I do love it. It adds to the atmos for me. Right, so anyway, they're arriving there. This is the housekeeper or whatever of the Columbia Inn, who is called, because I can't remember, because I'm an idiot, Emma Allen, played by Mary Wicks. She's been in loads of stuff. She's got one of them faces. Don't ask me what. Let's have a look. Where is she? There. Right. Here she is. What's she been in? Sister Act. Sister Act 2. She were in those. I've not seen Sister Act 2. I've seen Sister Act 1. Loads of stuff. Highway to Heaven. The Canterville Ghost. Murder, She Wrote. Everybody's been in Murder, She Wrote. The Waltons. Kolchak, the Night Stalker. She were in that. Yeah, loads of stuff. Columbo. Yeah, she's one of them faces that you've seen in loads of stuff. Anyway, right, so there we go. And everybody loved her. Wingrace says Sister Act 2 was a big drop-off from 1, in my humble opinion, or honest, whatever. I don't think I've seen the second one. I know it was directed by Bill Duke, Sister Act 2, I think. Famous for his roles in Commando and Predator. And he's also a director. Anyway, so he's welcoming new guests. And they said, no, we're not guests. We're here with the act. For over the holidays. He says, oh, I'm sorry, we'll have to cancel you, but we'll pay you half, the cancellation fee or whatever. And he said, well, where guests? We'll book and stay. But then the general comes in. So by pure coincidence, the Columbia Inn just happens to be the new retirement business for General Waverley. There we go. So he's the owner of the Columbia Inn. So they're all shocked to see him. Look, they're saluting him and everything. So anyway, he says to them, "Oh no, we're not sending you away. You can stay and do your act and everything. We'll pay you in full. Pardon me, and all that stuff. I haven't got my drink. Oh, poo. Hang on, just bear with me. Yeah. To do my can of Vimto. Yeah, I'll be burping, knocking things. Where were we? Hang on, where are we? And X-Men before Dinklage replaced him. We were going to play. I forgot the name of the character that Dinklage played. The creator of the Sentinels or whatever, wasn't it? Trask, something like that, wasn't it? I can't remember. Well, that's supposed to be Bill Duke. He did play Trask in X-Men 3. Right, fair enough. Where were we? Yes. So anyway, so they're staying there, blah blah blah, and so they're all having all fun and games, blah blah blah. We see that they're doing their sisters act, haha. Sisters, and not many people there. Although obviously there are some guests, so it's not a complete loss. There are some people there, but obviously not enough to pay all the bills, it seems. So they think they're gonna they've got an idea. They're gonna bring their show up and get the crowds in for the general and get him some dough. So that's what they're gonna do. So that they're thinking about it now and talking about it. What can we do to help the general? So he's going to get on the phone to New York and get everybody up, the whole show, sets, costumes, and all the cast you can round up. 'Cause remember, they've sent everybody home over the holidays, haven't they? On full pay. And he said, get them to come back and we'll give them an extra week's pay. In fact, it's going to cost them a lot of money. There we go. Wow, he says it's going to cost a lot. It says, wow, how much is wow? It's between, hang on, what does he say? Hang on, where are we? It does say it somewhere. There we go. Between ouch and boing. So it's going to cost them a lot of money. Anyway, I forgot her name already. Emma, I think I said, didn't I? Yes. Emma says, oh, it's an amazing thing you're doing for the general. Oh, she gives him a big kiss because she was listening in on the other phone, because that's what she does. And she gives Danny Kaye a big kiss. There we go. And then she gives Bob a big kiss. And I like this bit because he goes in for more. Then Phil drags him off. Whoa, oh, he's going in for more. Can't help himself. Anyway, so here we go. Passage of time. They've got the whole gang are there. They're setting up in the ski lodge. That's where they're going to do the show. They've told the general that they're just using it for rehearsing. And hopefully, they'll attract a few, guests in and stuff like that. But that's what they're telling the general. There we go. Use them like guinea pigs, the guests. And so there we go. So getting ready to start rehearsing and doing numbers. Oh, minstrels, oh heck. A minstrel number. Don't black up, don't worry. Here we go, there you go. This is the minstrel. I'd rather see a minstrel show, but they don't dress up as black and white minstrels, thankfully. Although I think, were it in Holiday Inn? I've not seen I might have seen Holiday Inn once a long time ago. Did they do it in that? And I think they might have blacked up in that. But never mind. So anyway, obviously, big production. They're just squeezed into this ski lodge. I don't know how the hell they fitted it in. Hollywood physics. But anyway, so there they are. Singing away. We'll have a little listen.
That's a good one. Tell a little story, Mr. Bone.
A funny little story, Mr. Bone.
I don't like this song, 'cause they talk about, like, killing a dog and stuff. There you go, pulling dogs' teeth out and stuff like that. It's just a song. So there they are, another musical number. But Vera Ellen's gonna dance now. We're doing Mandy now, and there she is, very thin but super attractive. Watch her feet. Rosemary Clooney in the commentary, she's always, saying lovely things about Vera Ellen, about her dancing. She says she can't sing, but she says she doesn't know how she goes down these steps without looking where she's going. Practice, I imagine. But anyway, so she's dancing away. We're going to see, I forgot his name already. Is it George Chakiris? Is that his name? A bloody Oscar-winning actor. Yes, George Chakiris is one of the dancers in this. We're going to win an Oscar for West Side Story. He's going to dance with it in a minute. They're dancing first, singing about Mandy. Have a listen. Oh, Pete's sake.
The wedding chimes bring happy times for Mandy and me.
There we go. But she's going to do a dance with George Chakiris in a bit. Is it this bit or is it a bit later? I don't know, because that's not him, is it? That's somebody else whose name I can't remember. I will look him up. It's got a B in it. It's got a B in it. I'll let you know when I recognise it. Where is he? I can't see it. Never mind. I've probably missed it. Whatever. Right, so watch her feet. Amazing feet. Picked a bit though. She wasn't doing amazing feet, but never mind. There's Josh Chakiris. I think that's in there, isn't it? Is it? Could be. Yes, it is. As I said, would go on to win an Oscar. He doesn't have any lines in this film. And was it 7 years later? He'd win an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for West Side Story. A film which I've only seen once, to be honest, a long time ago when I was a kid. But I always remember America. La 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 America. All that stuff. Danny was probably better than Bing at dancing. Yes, he wasn't known for his dancing, was he, Bing Crosby? He was a crooner, wasn't he? But Danny was an all-round entertainer, wasn't he? Danny Kaye. By the way, originally it was supposed to be Donald O'Connor in the Phil Davis role. And I think he did start filming, or maybe it were about to start. And then he got hurt or got ill or something and had to pull out. And parachuted Danny Kaye in at the last minute. But anyway. Sorry, I'm watching the feet again. I don't know, I'm obsessed with Vera Ellen's feet. I can't help myself. But it's all very, very cool stuff. And she does like a mosh pit dive in a minute. She goes up these steps. By the way, watch this fella go up these steps. I would have fallen down and died. I wish I could remember his name. It begins with B. I'm going to have to find it out. Doing my head in. It should be quite high up. By the way, the actress that played the dancer at the beginning that says "Mutual, I'm sure," is Barry Chase. I've just seen the name there. John Braskia, that's his name. I'm probably mispronouncing it. It might be Braskia or something. I don't know, but it's spelled Braskia with a C. That's him. Gene Kelly was the best, says Justin. Justin was a real Gene Kelly was, yeah, he was a dancer. Not a great singer, better singer than me, but I say Singing in the Rain, one of my favourite films of all time. It is. Anywho, right. So, have I missed it? Just do a dive here. No, just throw her, don't they? There we go. So, but she does another one there. Look. They throw her about, don't they? Anyway, so there we go. So they're all, hey, that's the rehearsal over with. Thank goodness the cameras were rolling. This is Rosemary Clooney pretending to play the piano. She said she can't play it, but they're falling for each other. Anyway, right. So what's happening now? They're all settling down. Can't remember what's going on. Yes, they're going to have a little midnight snack. That's it. It's the midnight snack scene, which apparently was improvised. I don't know if it's totally, completely improvised, all of it, but apparently that's what they say. And they're going to sing a little song that was written just for this film I don't know how many songs he wrote just for this film, Irving Berlin. This is Count Your Blessings, but this is one of them. Justin says, you can't beat the old-time feel of these movies. Exactly. I like a good musical. I'm not a massive musical fan. I don't like all of them, but I do like a good, classy 40s, 50s, 60s musical. And Grease, which is probably my favourite. Anyway, so this is where they're going to fall in love now, singing Counting My Blessings. Have a listen.
Blessings. When my bankroll is getting small.
Bubba bing. Bow chicka wow wow. Midnight snack. Yes, that's what they're having. This is what that scene's called. Anyway, so they're going to have the midnight snack and have a little sing, and then they're going to have a little kiss after he lights his pipe. But they have a little kiss, and there we go. So they've fallen in love, but it's all going to go wrong, obviously, because you've got to have a bit of drama, haven't you? But they're looking on, because it's their job to get them together, and now they're thinking, yay, and they've gotten together. Anywho, another passage of time. Bing's been out, sorry, not Bing, Bob, been out in the General's Jeep. Was he just handed one as a retirement thing from the army, or did he buy it? I don't know, but he's got a Jeep. And been into town to get the mail and to get the, I forgot what they call them now, like flyers. You don't call them flyers, handbills, as we call them, for the show. There you go. And he's got a letter because the General wants to join the army again. He wants to go back into the army because he can't hack it running the Columbia in. But so there goes. Applied for active duty, and he's got a letter back. And so he's getting Bing to read it out to him because he hasn't got his glasses on. And they're basically fobbing him off, saying they've no use for him. He's like Scotty in that episode of TNG, Relics. So there we go. Speaking of TNG, Bing Crosby's granddaughter were in Next Generation, wasn't she? Denise Crosby. And also Rosemary Clooney's son were also in Star Trek. Because her son is Miguel Ferrer, who were in Star Trek 3. He played like the helmsman or whatever of the Excelsior in Star Trek 3. But anyway. Justin says, probably shipped it piece by piece. I forgot what I said. I don't know. Anyway, so they're saying that they've no use for him, so he's going to have to just stay there and run his in. So he's thinking that he wants to do something for the General to cheer him up, because he's obviously a bit down now. But meanwhile, the rehearsals are still going on. So he's going to think about, there we go, saying, Phil, have you seen the look in his eyes? Blah, blah, blah. So he's going to go, and he wants to get all the guys from the unit to come in for the General, a secret, a surprise party or whatever. Get all the guys, assemble them for the General to cheer him up. Bing's son was in Friday the 13th, or nephew. Yeah, I can't remember which one. Yeah, I don't remember seeing it somewhere. That yeah, wasn't even in the wheelchair, was it? They got an axe in his face. Can't remember, but yeah, I've seen that somewhere. Right, anyway. Anywho. So he's going to do that. So he's got on the phone, going to phone up Ed Harrison, who runs the TV show. Obviously, not a reference to Ed Sullivan, but it's Ed Harrison. So it wasn't the fella in the wheelchair then. I can't remember. The guitar guy. Anyway. Well, I'm going to look it up now, because you've got me wondering now. I do remember seeing it somewhere, or because we've done Friday the 13th, so I probably mentioned it at some point, haven't I? Bear with me, because we're live and I don't care. Harry Crosby played Bill. There we go. In the first Friday the 13th. But it's just an old photo, not an old, it's a new photo of him, or newish, so I can't remember what he looked like. But anyway, yes, so there we go. But I was talking about Star Trek. Not Friday the 13th. Because Rosemary Clooney were married to Jose Ferrer twice. Married him twice. And I think he had affairs twice, so that's why they got divorced twice. Anyway. Who'd have thought it, eh? Jose Ferrer, the kindly old man who played Captain Nemo and other stuff. Anyway. Right, so he's going to phone up New York, and they've got Radio City, and obviously she's listening in, but she keeps getting interrupted, so she hears all the wrong parts. But musical number time. This is like modern dance. Giving it all that, and I can imagine Donald O'Connor doing this, to be honest, rather than Danny. Donald O'Connor been really good. Donald O'Connor, an amazing dancer, wasn't he? And very physical, and I can imagine him doing this. The theatre.
The theatre.
The theatre. There we go. So I can imagine Donald O'Connor. He'd been really good, and these girls are super pretty, aren't they? But anyway. Right, so they're getting on with this, giving it all that. Oh, and Vera Ellen comes out again, very skinny legs, but she's doing a bit of tap. Hang on, let's go back a bit. Oh, I missed it. I don't know if it's actually doing this, if it's live or whatever, or they added the sound effect after, but she's doing that, where they go. I can't do it, can I? I don't know if you can hear that. But, there's a word for it, and I don't know what it is. Rosemary Clooney mentioned it in the commentary, what she's doing there, and I forgot what they call it. But, they tap really fast. And she's doing that. And I bet she's actually doing it. I bet she can tap dance like bloody hell. Like, watch your feet, look, watch your feet. I'm obsessed with the feet. So we go that anyway, so there we go. We get through that. That's a great pause face, isn't it? Anyway, is that Brassier or whatever? I forgot his bloody name already. John Brassier, is that him again? Right, so anyway, so he's on the phone. She's going to listen in. He's on the phone to Ed Harrison. And Ed Harrison keeps trying to say, "Oh, it's great publicity for you, and you'll earn loads of money and all that." And she's just hearing all the bad parts. She's not hearing where Bing's saying, "No, we're not doing it for that." No, she keeps getting interrupted. She's just hearing all the wrong stuff. So she thinks that they're doing it for the money and not for the general. So she goes and tells people. She goes and tells Betty. So this is why Betty falls out now with Bob. I can't say Bing. But anyway, so she's fed up now. So she has not a blazing round, but she has a falling out with him and says, "I don't want to do this song. In fact, I don't want to do any of the show. I'm going. Bye." So she storms off. They're all slamming doors, saying, "What's going on?" Anyway, so she's got a plan as Judy. We need to keep them together. So to keep them together, we'll have to pretend to get engaged or something. So that's what they're doing here. And she's been very hands-on, and her hand keeps going up his thigh. Scared stiff. I'd have been scared stiff as well, if you know what I mean. But look, her hands, it's going up his thigh. Look, it's very, very raunchy, isn't it? But so anyway, but like I say, it's a temporary thing. They're going to get engaged and then get unengaged once Bob and. How is this going to make Bob and Betty come back together? I don't know, but that's what their plan is. Romance in the air and all that stuff. But they're great chemistry together. Anyway, the party. The general has... hang on, let's see. There's a sign. There we go. A cast party tonight. With that great American spelling of tonight. Or just for signs. I don't know. Why did they spell it like that? I don't know. But anyway. On the house, General Waverley, that he signed it in chalk. So there we go. So I don't know all who these people are, the cast and other people. But you can see that Betty's not happy. But so they're going to announce their engagement, and everybody's happy for them. See that Bob and Betty's not talking, so they go saying we're engaged. So they're all like, yay! So they're all congratulating them. But Betty storms out. It doesn't work. They have a little talk, and but she's not saying you're doing it for the money. She's basically just saying I'm fed up. I'm going. Women don't get to the point, do they? But she says she's leaving. So off she goes. Now we go back at the railway station. She's going. She gives the general a letter to give to Betty, and all that. Meanwhile, Bob's there, expecting a delivery or something from New York. The sets and stuff like that. Wingrave says that, along with many shortened American words, i.e. dropping the U from colour, etc., were done for fiscal reasons. You had to pay by the letter in newspapers, so night to night saves every time. Like a letter shorter, isn't it? Anyway, yes, I can see that. But it makes you look dumb. Anyway, so he's there sorting something out with the station master. Cisco, we'll call him. And then he sees Betty's getting on the train. He says, Betty, where are you going? Blah, blah, blah. And she says, I'm going. I've got a job in New York. But he said, but. Anyway, so we're doing another dance scene. There we go. Watch your feet. Look, my feet are amazing. I don't know if I think this is just a dance scene. I don't think there's any singing. It's just a dance scene. But with John Brashear, however you pronounce it again. So they're all. She gets the letter now. There we go. Dear Judy, she says, in the voice of Terry Wogan. We always knew that one day we'd break up the act. I guess this is it. Phil's a wonderful guy, and I know you'll both be very happy. Lovely nails. I've got good news too. I've taken a job in New York. I open at the Carousel Club tomorrow night, and I know... Is he going to tell us? Is he going to show us? I know... Is she reading it out loud? Because it's not going to show us, is it? And I know... Oh. You'll be fine, or whatever. But, so, there we go. I thought it was actually the same club, because you're going to New York, but it looks like the same club that they were in at the beginning, in Florida. Don't know. So they go and tell Bob, and he said that their engagement was a phony engagement, and he's saying, oh, you're dopey, I've got to go to New York now, not only to talk to Ed Harrison, and be on his show, but try and smooth things over with Betty. So, anyway. So, Judy goes off crying, by the way. Oh, he tries to do the arm thing again. Yeah, I'm sure this is the same club. I don't know. Is it the same fella in charge of it that were on earlier on? I don't know. Anyway, they all look alike. Anyway, here she's getting ready to sing her song. And she says she wants to sing a different song. I don't know why. Did she sing this song earlier on with Bing Crosby? I don't know, but he says no. It's a wonderful number, and also they've got dancers there. Have they got George Chakiris there? What's he? He's supposed to be in Vermont, isn't he? What's he doing here? Never mind. So she's going to start singing away. Here she goes.
You planned a romance that just hadn't a chance.
There we go. Justin says Danny Kaye's last acting role was The Cosby Show. Oh dear. As in Bill Cosby. Obviously. There she's dancing with Josh Chakiris. I said he's supposed to be up in Vermont, isn't he? So she's singing that as Bing watches, and then she goes over, says hello. maybe he says, come here, and she obviously just obeys. They try and smooth things over, but I don't know if they actually... They do kind of say, whatever, but it's like they've not made up, but they're not shouting and bawling at one another. But I don't know if we ever learn if they know what's happened. She's got the wrong end of the stick. I think she does eventually because she sees the show. But anyway, that's Ed Harrison. He's come for Bob to do the show, and so she said, "Well, you've got to do your show. Then off you go." But then I think she sees the show and realises what it's all about. So now she's got to get back to Vermont. Meanwhile, Danny Kaye's job, Phil's job, is to stop the General from watching the Ed Harrison show, which is his favourite show. So they set his TV up there for him to watch it. But they've got to keep distracting him so he doesn't watch the show, because Bing Crosby's going to use the show to say, all the people that were in General Waverley's unit in 1945, you've got to get to the Columbia Inn in Vermont right now in full uniform. That's what he's going to do. So they're saying that Phil's fallen down the stairs. So this is an amusing physical comedy bit from Danny Kaye, where he's pretending he's sprained his leg or broke his leg or done a fracture or whatever. So it's all very amusing. It's obviously keeping the General away from the TV. Anyway, so here he comes to do his little bit to camera. I'm singing his song.
They fill his chest with medals while he's across the phone.
She doesn't know yet what she's smiling for. Anyway, so this is when she realises that it's all about the General and not about making money. Why is Alexa doing something? Sorry, my Alexa's up there, and I think it's updating, isn't it? But it's been like a Cylon. It's looking at me. Can you see her? She's up there. Look, hang on, where is she? Look, she's there. Look. Anyway, so here he's still making out. He's got a duff leg. Where are we? Phil, where are you? There he is. So obviously keeping the General away from the TV. You've got to walk around the barn a few times. So this is where she realises that, it's not about the money, it's for the General, so she's got to get back to Vermont. So they're going to get loads of people in. Let's say all the old soldiers from the unit have arrived in uniform. Some of them don't fit. He looks familiar. I don't know who he is. Why? She's taken all the General's clothes that he normally wears. She said, there's only your dress uniform left. But she's saying, I won't appear in uniform. And I said, well, you'll have to. So he's going to come down his uniform that still fits. There we go, she's back, is Betty. She now realises that everything's okay. And the General comes down and they take him in to the ski lodge. And I don't know how tall the ski lodge is, but we'll see later on, because all this goes up. Where does it go up to? How tall is it? So he comes in and sees all the men there. They're going, attention! And this is where I'm filling up as well, because look, he's filling up. And all the troop are there. And look, he's filling up. They're singing the song. Hang on, where are we?
Because we love him. We love him. Especially when he keeps us on the ball.
So, there we go. And he's all filling up. He's the General. Anyway, so he inspects the troops and says, you're a slovenly lot and all that stuff. Neckties will be worn in this area. And it's, it's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And I'm filling up now. And they all love him. And he says, yeah, and everything's lovely. And then we learn that it starts snowing outside. Somebody comes running in and says, look, it's snowing. But they've got a song to do first. I forgot about that.
Uniforms for winter, spring, and fall.
There we go. There we go. Wish I was back in the army. Yes. Because we love him. We love him. And all that. Look, they've soon got her ready, haven't they? Even though she's buggered off, but she must have rehearsed this song beforehand. But then somebody comes in saying it's snowing outside. After they do this bit, yeah, it's very amusing. And there we go. It's snowing. Apparently that's asbestos. Apparently. That's what it says. I don't know if that's true or not. In my notes, it does say somewhere. The snow used at the end of the film is actually asbestos. Probably is, so they've all got cancer. So they open up the ski lodge doors, and then it's all very snowy and very nice. Look, they even get a sled come in because it's snowing. And Santa's arrived. Oh, he's dressed as Santa, isn't he? They've got all this set arranged. How big is this ski lodge? It's massive. And so they're singing White Christmas, obviously. I love the colours, by the way. You don't see colours like this in films now. Well, you do, but it's a different sort of colours, isn't it? So there we go. So they're singing that. And then all the set all rises up into the sky in a minute. There he goes. How big is this ski lodge? It's huge. Like an aircraft hangar or something. But anyway. But, whatever. So we're seeing all the nice... it's real. It's not a studio with a painted backdrop. They used to use that for snow a lot. I think Wizard of Oz did too. Yes, they did in the scene in the poppy field with the snow there. Yes, that was asbestos as well. Yes. Anyway, so there we go. So they're singing White Christmas, and that brings the film to a close. There we go. As they're singing White Christmas, and they sing Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, the end. Themed. There we go. Lovely film, and it just ends, because that's how films ended back in the day. Oh, it's started again now. That's how they didn't go on for 20 minutes of credits, they just ended. But yeah, lovely film. I really like White Christmas. It gets me every time. I'm a little bit teary-eyed now because I'm a big softie. But yeah, great film. It's out on DVD. I presume it's out on Blu-ray as well. Or you can watch it on... I've put links in the description for where you can watch it. If you feel you must. Because it's Christmas, so you've got to. It's the law. And Melvin's arrived. Sorry, I missed it. I was rocking around the Christmas tree while dreaming of a White Christmas. Well, you were doing the right thing then. Bing Crosby will return in Avengers Doomsday. Okay. Everybody's returning in Avengers Doomsday, aren't they? Bing Crosby and Dean Martin will be there as well, and Sammy Davis Jr., I imagine. Anyway, right, so there we go. So that's the end of White Christmas. A great film, I say, with great performances and great singing, and I'm just obsessed with Vera Ellen's feet. I want to watch her feet again. Let's find some bit where she's dancing. There we go. Come on, don't just do that. I want to see your feet doing amazing stuff. Not doing amazing stuff with her feet. Oh, for God's sake. Anyway. Are we allowed to say Christmas now? Oh, don't be getting all political. Quest. Yes, we are. It's not Winterval, it's Christmas. We've got to remember little baby Jesus, haven't we? That's what we've got to think about at this time. Anywho, so there we go. So that's the end of White Christmas. Lovely film, a lovely film. Go and watch it. Go and watch it now. I imagine it's on Amazon and places. It'll be on the telly somewhere, won't it? It'll be on at some point. Over the Christmas period. On one of the channels. But anyway, so there we go. So we'll leave it there. We will leave it there for now. So what's next? I don't know. I've forgotten. I'm going to have to get me whatchamacallit? I forgot to call it. My schedule. Where's my schedule? TOYG Christmas 2025 schedule. Here it is. What's next? What we just done? White Christmas. So coming up next, all right, on Friday, for Friday Night Porn with Fear. We've got Rare Exports from 2010, Finnish horror-ish film about Santa Claus, like Krampus sort of thing. It's also about elves and stuff. But anyway, it is a lot of fun. And next Monday's Magnificent Mondays is Violent Night. It's Violent Night, starring David Harbour as Santa Claus. It's very violent, really, really good. It's similar, so it's kind of got a similar-ish feel to Fat Man, that Mel Gibson film, came out around about the same time, I think, didn't they? Within a year or two of each other, I think. Yeah. So that's what's coming up. I don't know what I'm doing on Wednesday. Do I? No, I haven't decided what I'm doing on Wednesday. We will see. I'll think of something. Look through my notes and see if I can... Oh, what's my phone ringing for? I'm not answering you. My phone's ringing. Right. Go through my notes. Rosemary Clooney once quipped that this could have been a near-perfect movie if only they could have dubbed her dancing. Yeah, because she were on about Vera Ellen's not a great singer. Although she is... I don't know if she's sung in other things. She's listed on IMDb as an actress and singer, a dancer and singer. But she said, she was dubbed by Trudy Stevens, and she said Rosemary Clooney, they should have dubbed her dancing as well, which was amusing. According to Rosemary Clooney, the midnight snack scene in which Bob Wallace expounds on his theory of what foods cause what dreams was almost entirely improvised. There we go. According to Rosemary Clooney, this is all in the commentary, Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye's sister's performance was not originally in the script. They were clowning around on the set, and director Michael Curtiz thought it was so funny that he decided to film it. In the scene, Crosby's laughs are genuine and unscripted, as he was unable to hold a straight face due to Kaye's comedic dancing. Clooney said the filmmakers had a better take, where Crosby didn't laugh, but when they ran them both, people liked the laughing version better. Melvin says, I recently found my copy of Deep Star 6. I should really go watch it again. What's a Henway? Yeah. And speaking of Deep Star 6, that also got Miguel Ferrer in, who I mentioned earlier on, who is the son of Rosemary Clooney. There you go. But I mentioned that about this is the third film to feature the song White Christmas, Bing Crosby singing White Christmas. The other two, Holiday Inn and Blue Skies. There's another thing. Apparently, the King and Queen of Greece visited the set. I can't remember which part. I think it was the end part, where they were singing White Christmas and all that. And the King and Queen of Greece visited the set, and Michael Curtiz wanted them to perform it again, as though they were doing another, shooting it, as they pretend that they were filming it for the King and Queen of Greece. And Bing Crosby said, no, I'm not doing it. And he buggered off to play golf. He says, I'm going over the wall. So anyway, they did it just without Bing Crosby there. Miserable bugger. Tell you, I don't like Bing Crosby. A great singer, but does my head in. Apparently, not a very nice person, was he? Anyway. Where were we? According to Danny Kaye, a TV documentary on Bing Crosby aired after Crosby's death, Crosby was initially glum during filming White Christmas, having just lost his wife Dixie. Kaye decided to try and lighten Crosby up by improvising the vamp during the Sisters number, in which he repeatedly hit Crosby in the stomach with his blue feather fan. Crosby broke up and his laughter in the film is genuine. Kaye said that afterwards Crosby seemed more relaxed and more ready to join in the fun. Although Dean Jagger was made out to be the old man, Bing Crosby was actually 6 months older than Jagger in real life. I don't think he's related to Mick Jagger, by the way, is he? Quest says, was invited for a sleigh ride. Didn't feel like pulling the sleigh. Ha ha! I said that about the train set, train set, if you know what I mean. Not train set, not 00 gauge, train set. The station, that's what I'm trying to say. We're at 20th Century Fox, because Paramount didn't have one. Apparently MGM had one, but They didn't have any trains on it. No train interiors, should I say. Where are we? Another one. The alfalfa thing I mentioned. Mentioned about Rosemary Clooney played this character was called Betty, and her sister was called Betty in real life, and they sang together for a while. Trudy Stevens, I mentioned her. She did the singing of Vera Ellen. Some people have said that Rosemary Clooney overdubbed Vera Ellen's singing in, I think, in Sisters, but apparently that's not true. Where are we? Originally, the plan was to reunite Crosby with his Holiday Inn co-star Fred Astaire, but Fred Astaire turned it down as he had temporarily retired at the time. Donald O'Connor was cast as Crosby's co-star in what was hoped to be a reprise of his successful dance partnership with Vera Ellen from Call Me Madam from 1953. But while filming Francis Joins the Wax, WACS, O'Connor contracted a severe bout of Q fever from his co-star Molly, who played Francis the Talking Mule. I've no idea. And had to pull out. Danny Kaye was cast as a last-minute replacement. Cisco, I've mentioned that. I mentioned that Rosemary Clooney, who played the elder sister of the Haynes sisters, was actually 7 years younger than Vera Ellen. Vera Ellen died young, actually, youngish. She was only 60 when she died in 1981. But I can't remember what she died of. I did look it up and I've forgotten. Rosemary Clooney passed away from like lung cancer. She was a heavy smoker apparently, and if you see there's like an interview on there, and because there's probably near the end of her life, she's like got a big like round scar there, so she's obviously had some sort of surgery to do with her lungs, but she died of lung cancer. She had a lot of problems in her life as well, did Rosemary Clooney, with addiction and all that, and she had a nervous breakdown, a mental breakdown, whatever, on stage. I bet that was scary. Yeah, and that's it. I've gone through me notes. We've mentioned everything now, right? So we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. Another thing I've added, by the way, on Christmas Eve, I think it's Christmas Eve, yes. I'm doing a watch party for The Stone Tape, Nigel Neal's The Stone Tape, the BBC ghost story. So we'll be watching that. If you've got a copy, it is on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube, so you can watch along. But I'll be playing it, but it'll be like half obscured. I got the idea from Retro Nerd Girl, but I will mention that at the time. So we'll be watching that on Christmas Eve. So that should be fun. That's a couple of weeks off. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks Justin and Wingrace and Josh Temple and Melvin at Quest. And did anybody else pop in? We had a bit of where is it? Bit of Stream Boo action early on, but it's disappeared. I can't find it. Never mind. But obviously no Rumble chats because Rumble wasn't working. I don't know why. I might have done something wrong. Probably did, knowing me. But never mind. Right, so we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. I'll just close some windows. There we go. Yeah. So thanks for what that White Christmas, great film. Go and watch it. So thanks for watching, wherever you are. Have a lovely Christmas if I don't see you again before. And until next time, hang on, where's my stuff? Until next time, I'll say there.